Hey there, beer fans. My name is Steve Jagger. This is another BeerNative beer review. It's still feels like forever dry January. Let's get going. Alrighty, ready. Hello, my name is Steve Jagger. Do subscribe to the channel. Do click the thumbs up. Do leave a comment. I realize this is dry January, so maybe I haven't been reviewing all the beers that you love. Maybe, but I am helping. I promise I'm helping because I have found more really good, actually a wider spectrum, more really good alcohol-free beers this year than I did last year. And I found, if you watch my What's Your Mantra video, possibly the worst ever alcohol-free beer. So lots of adventure when you explore this sweet land, because I don't always know what I'm going to get. Even really bad beers in the boozy world seem to be just kind of okay, right? So let's get on with it. What are we reviewing today? It's still in the fridge still, actually. It's a lager. I'm not a big lager guy, but mainly because I'm really just way too picky on lagers. This is California Uncommon by Mash Gang. Alcohol free. It's Mash Gang. I think it's Mash Gang's first brew. Very sexy art. Loving Mash Gang's effort on the craft beer market. 0.5%. Still, none of the beers I've done have had calories, which has been a disappointment. Some of the ones last year did. 0 so far this year I've had that. And it was a request that I always get, particularly with these, because some people outside of dry January just want a lighter beer. The big drop ones do have, let's see if I have an example of one. So this is a big drop one. And do they have it on the front? So big drops used to say, in fact, exactly what their calorie count was. And there you go. 53 calories per can. I love that. Big credit to Big Drop. Still probably my other favorite next to Mash Gang. But it does give you an idea. If there's not all the sugar and booze in it, you are getting a much lighter beer. So that's kind of cool. It's a lager. So let's try it. Whoa. I don't know what's in it. Maybe if we look it up, we can find it. It smells super lagery. And like all our other beers, actually doesn't smell like it's alcohol free when you first put your nose to it. It's got a really nice, smells really nice. I gotta admit, that is pretty good. And once again, passes the I am completely convinced. Beautiful clarity, lovely head. Everything about this is really nice. I'm excited about this because so far the Mash Gang chug. It's in my top of this month. So the shadow on my face. This looks really nice, right? Check that out. No faulting that. And again, it's a little bit of cereal there, but it's pretty solid. All right, let's give it a go. So when it first kind of crossed my palate, I thought it was like I was just drinking water. Let me just hold on. Let me try something, because I think you would never want to drink this out of the can. In my earlier reviews, I always took a sip out of the can. I completely forgot I used to do that. It's important because beers transform when you put them in a glass. So, yeah, you got to put this in a glass, like no doubt. It has a really nice lager smell, and when you first sip it, because it's quite watery, if you don't get the nose, you're like, bit bland. But because you do, it's really quite nice, kind of floral. Lagery? It's not a very beer review term, is it? It's very lagery. It actually kind of reminds me a teeny bit of Lost Lager. Some people are really polarized by Lost Lager from Brewdog, but I don't mind it. You know, it's all right. I always, when people tell me like, oh, I hate Lost Lager, I'm like, do you hate Lost Lager or do you hate Brewdog? Which is it? Are you just picking on it? So I never really get too much of an honest review of it. But my review is that I think Lost Lager is all right. It's doesn't taste like rice-based crap. It's okay. This is a little like that, which is good news for if you like lager. It's got that kind of nice, kind of light, paley, malty kind of thing going on with that lager yeastiness. It's roughly convincing. Something that I've noticed while I've been doing the alcohol-free beers. Oh, my video is skipping a little bit. Oh, I'll deal with it. The alcohol-free beers is my palate has been improving, and I think when you're drinking these kind of big IPAs and some of the triple IPAs and things that have quite strong hop or booziness elevators, you go back to the more subtle ones like the sessions and the tables, and you suddenly go, oh, this isn't very good. It's a bit bland. And because I haven't had any of those, now something like even like a table beer seems like it's exploding with flavor. This is strange, right? But interesting experiment. I would imagine. Well, I did the hump where I did the triple IPA, and it was like, oh, this is the greatest beer ever. Now I don't know if it is. So I might have to do a second look at that once I'm sort of back in the more standard beer world and see, do I still like the triple hazy? I don't know. But in the middle of dry January, I'm starting to think any beer with alcohol is going to get a 5-star review. Right. Anyway, that is good. What would I give it out of 10? Just to be nice and granular, I would probably give it definitely a 3.4 or something. It's not way better, maybe 3.5. It's pretty good. It's a solid 3 something. Let's stick with 3.4. That made me feel good about it. If you want to get one yourself, I found it at Craft Metropolis, which is good. I didn't find it at Gangland. Like if you go to Gangland, they have another one. They've got Stoop. Now, I haven't tried Stoop yet, but it's like I have to buy 6 of them. I don't want to buy 6 of them, so I didn't. They also have Natural History here, which is a West Coast Pale Ale. I think I'm probably going to order some of that, but I also don't want to order 12. So I'm probably going to try and find it somewhere else, like perhaps here, Craft Metropolis. So I might go grab that last one. So there you go. Now you know where to get it. Mishgang borrows, if you didn't know this, Brew Time. So when I ordered a bunch of stuff, it all came from Gypsy Hill. I don't know if they're connected or they're just friends, but not bad, right? Imagine if you could start a brewery by just being a good brewer and having some cool recipes, and someone let you come in and use their professional craft brewery. That would rock, right? What a fun experiment that would be, other than me trying to do craft breweries. Breweries I'm brewing on my own, which I almost inevitably always failed at due to my lack of meticulous behavior. Okay, that's it. I think that was a pretty good lager. I like to trash Lucky Saint. I think Lucky Saint sucks. That was much better. So if you're looking for a lager, I would highly recommend. You're probably going to pay more for it. It was $3.35 for 1 can. That's more than most supermarket fully alcoholic beers. So you have to really want this lager to pay that for it. But I think if you can get it, it's worth it. All right. I think that's probably the end of this one. I do have some. I think next week might be the last week of dry January, and I've got some cool stuff lined up. So just a sneak preview, a couple of bottles. I have Bruges Zot, Sport Zot. I love the fact that they're like, hey, you can do sports and drink beer. It's the sport version, which is a really nice brown ale from Bruges, which I have had in Bruges. I even have a glass that I got there, and I've got Bonfire Stout from Drop Bear Beer Company. Also risky to do a stout, but Big Drop do a really good stout. That'll be coming up next week, along with 1 or 2 other interesting beers that I've got sitting back in the garage. So, without any further chit chat, almost to 10 minutes. Let's cut this one. My name is Steve Jaguar. This has been Mashgang's California Uncommon, £3.35, 0% lager, and I really like it. I love the art. I love Mashgang. It's going to get a pretty good review on Untapped. Do hit me up on Untapped once again. Until next time, Steve out.